Hi guys, it's Heather. Over on the channel Starting Out Solitary this week, they have been talking about magic, whether there's a time and a place for practicing magic, whether magic should be something that is kept for special occasions, whether it's something that should only be used out for the big guns kind of situations, where they practice, when they practice, those kind of things. It's a really good channel actually that has some really good topics on it. So if you want to check that out, if you're not already following them, I will put the link below. Go and check out particularly the videos that they've been talking about this week, but some of the other videos as well, because there's some really good topics on there if you are pagan, you are solitary and you're interested. I really liked the subject this week, and I've made a couple of videos now about magic and what I think magic is, and I thought it might be fun to also, I say fun a lot, it is fun, these videos are fun for me, but I thought I would throw my own 2 pence out there and just talk about how I feel about magic and whether there's a time and a place for it. It is bonfire weekend here in the UK and it is dark outside, so you may hear some fireworks going off out the window. I apologise for that, there's nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. I've got one cat down here, one cat up there, the dog in the bedroom. There's, you know, it's not my favourite weekend, I have to admit. As a pet owner, it's not my favourite weekend, but there's not a massive amount I can do about that. So we just have to carry on, as they say. So back to the topic at hand. I would argue that for a witch, I'm not particularly woo-woo, for want of a better word. For as someone who practices magic and believes in magic, there can be a perception, I think, more so from people who don't practice magic or who don't believe that magic is possible, that we're all very woo-woo type people. I am pretty practical about things. I'm pretty practical about the things that I do, and I'm very much, I do obviously enjoy doing things for enjoyment's sake and for fun. You know, I'm not a robot, for crying out loud, but I think if I'm going to expend energy on something, I have to be able to see the practicalness of it, the practical side, the benefit. And for me, I just think magic is a tool. It's a tool that sits within my toolbox to be used. I'm sure I don't need to tell anybody watching this video that life, a lot of the time, is really fucking hard. It's really hard for a lot of us, a lot of the time. My life is not always easy. It's not. And if I have tools in my toolbox that can make things that little bit easier and that little bit better, you're damn right I'm going to use them. Why wouldn't I? It would be totally illogical to me to have this amazing tool that I can pull out and use and not use it. I mean, what's the point in having it if you're not going to use it, right? So that's kind of one of the things one of my views about magic and whether it should be used for a special occasion. I mean, clearly my answer is no. I also think that magic is a skill. There is a skill involved. Some people are more naturally inclined to certain types of magic than others. All that means is that it comes a little easier to them. It's like playing the piano, right? I honestly believe anybody, absolutely anybody, can learn to play the piano. Some people will find it incredibly easy and are naturally inclined to playing the piano. Other people will have to work damn hard at it to get it right and to develop any level of skill. Magic is exactly the same. It's a skill. Some people are naturally inclined towards it and they just find it that little bit easier. Other people have to work really, really hard at it. And it's not even just magic as a whole, it's different types of magic. So some people find candle magic so easy, they don't even have to try, they just find it very, very easy. Other people, building their energy and getting candle magic to actually work, it takes a lot of practice. And that's the thing, that's how anybody gets good with a skill, we practice it. If we only use magic for special occasions or big circumstances, when are we practicing it? And that leads me to my final point that I wanted to make, really, is that if I were only to use magic for the big stuff and I didn't use it for the small stuff, like the less important stuff, when the big stuff happens, when those things come along and I need that magic and I need to be able to pull out that tool and use it and I need it to work, this, you know, it's something that has to happen, it has to work. There is no room for failure. What do I do if I haven't practiced, I don't have the skills, and my magic does fail? Because I don't know what I'm doing, because I haven't put in the time, because I haven't practiced, because I haven't started small and built up my level of ability. I think when we talk about things like magic, we can have a tendency, I say we, I'm generalising, I'm, you know, the royal we, whatever. If this doesn't apply to you, great. But we can have a tendency to treat it as something special and something outside the norm. And so we talk about, you know, magic as a last resort, or magic should only be used when we have a real need, or magic should only be pulled out and used on special occasions. But I would like to suggest that magic should be part of your life. If you are a witch, if you are practicing as a witch, if you are claiming the title witch, consider the idea that magic should be part of your day-to-day life. And magic doesn't always have to be this big, amazing woo thing that we do. It could just be you know, washing away your troubles while you do the dishes. It could be you sending a little bit of self-care and comfort to your hot chocolate. It could just be you blessing your family's food before you serve it. Magic doesn't have to be the big stuff. Magic can be used for the small stuff, and it can also be the small stuff. I get the impression, though, from what I've seen, that there are a lot of people out there who view magic in the same way that I do, and that this idea that seemed quite prevalent, particularly in communities and in 101 books back in the early 2000s, that magic is sacred and should only be used for sacred things and for big things, seems to be kind of like a dying viewpoint, or a dead viewpoint, I don't know. But if you disagree with me, if you think magic is sacred and should only be used for the big special occasions, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that and your opinions, particularly if they're different to mine. So do, as always, drop me a comment below. Hopefully this hasn't been too rambly and you've been able to follow my train of thought, because I didn't make a massive amount of notes. I just kind of blurred at you. But if you want to have a conversation about it, like I say, drop me a comment. If there's anything that I wasn't really clear about, drop me a comment. If you just want to chat and say hi, drop me a comment. I'm all good with that. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye.